Yo, how's it going, everybody? So today I want to talk about Granblue Fantasy Versus Eustace. I want to do my first impressions for this character. He just came out not too long ago, and I just want to overall give you guys my thoughts on how I feel this character is and why I think he's going to be a strong contender within the game. So just starting off with some pros and cons that I think about the character. One, I think he's a great hybrid character. He's going to be able to zone. He's going to have some nice close pressure with unique bomb Oki pressure and stuff like this. He has consistent damage off unique starters. For example, if he has his bomb on you, he can throw you and he can basically, do big damage off of throws and overheads. He could basically take 50% of your life off universal overheads and throws once he has his bomb on you, which is plus, and it's a frame trap. So things like that. Some cons for the character: he doesn't have a meterless reversal. I know a lot of people want, a strong DP inside of a game like this. He also is a charge character, so people who aren't used to playing characters that have charge motions, he may be a little bit of a executional barrier for you, but there are easy inputs for this game, so you can actually use that to bypass that. Keep in mind, you're going to obviously have more cooldown when that happens, but it is something that you can actually play around. And he does have a weak air game. His weak air to ground game. His air to ground game isn't the best. This button isn't the best, and this button is okay. But we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about his normals. We're going to talk about his specials, his pressure, his confirmability, and his knockdown game is what I want to base my early impressions down on him and why I think he is going to be a strong contender within this game. So let's start talking about his normals first. Start off the bat, his 5L, pretty good button. It does have the ability to confirm. It does hit crouchers pretty easily, which I always like. If it starts whiffing over crouchers, then I start to get a little bit mad that some characters don't have stuff like this, but he does have that at his disposal, so that's also very good. It's not whiffing over crouchers at a certain distance. It does, like right here, but in pressure is pretty good. It will hit in pressure, which is nice. So as long as they're in block stun, you do get that little extra benefit, which is good. His 2L, very good. Not every 2L has the ability to hit 3 times while a person is crouching. He is one of them. I know Gran can do it too. So that is the thing. Some characters can do it as long as they have a running start, but these characters in particular don't need that, which is also good. He can also go into his 2M, which is nice. And then his 5M is also pretty good. Nice range on it. 5H, also very good range. It also is pretty safe. He has a 5HH, which is a gunshot right there. So at certain distances like this, no one's really punishing this. This is really safe at that distance. He also has a 2HH, which is another gunshot. His 2H standard anti-air is pretty decent, not like the nothing too crazy, but it works. It's functional. It's pretty fast, so it works. The one thing about it, he does get consistent damage off of it, which we're going to talk about in a bit though. His air buttons, JL, it is your standard cross up button, so not every JL cross up, but it is his cross up. Nothing too crazy, it is just a JL. No crazy hurt box or anything about that. His JM is a good air to air button, and you can't actually hit people that are crouching. So if they're crouching, this button just don't hit them at all, no matter what. So that's the thing to keep in mind. His JH, this is why I say his air to ground game is pretty weak, is the fact that you gotta you actually have to delay it quite a bit. As you can see, you gotta come in kind of deep with this button to make it hit. So just keep that in mind. You can't press it any early. You gotta sort of let it come in order to hit with it, because you will whiff. If say if they're standing, you think you're gonna hit them right there and they start crouching, you will hit them. Like where he's standing, if he stands up at that height and he crouches, that will miss him. So you got to go a little bit deeper than what you think sometimes, which ultimately makes it to where it gives the opponent a little bit more time to try to anti-air you, because you have to delay to try to hit them as well. Because if they crouch, then you're just going to whiff, and then of course they're going to be able to hurt you. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to use his JH. Now the other things to keep in mind, once again, his 5UU, this is another thing. This is actually punishable. Both hits of this is very punishable, so you don't really want to do this on block. Outside of when you have the grenade on, you can play mind games with it, because you can explode it, which gives them plus frames. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But we're about to talk about his special moves now as well. So reason why he's really good, why I think he's pretty good, is he's a hybrid character, so he has a lot of abilities to basically do pressure, and he has the ability to basically zone you. So with his zoning, he has a couple charge moves. He has his charge shot, and he has his ball. This charge shot can actually blow through projectiles if you hold it. He does have a hold version, as you can see. So if you hold it, it actually counts as like a laser. Overall, it's a pretty good attack that can nullify projectiles. He could win projectile wars pretty easily as long as you keep doing the charges. The ball can also be charged, as you can see. The ball by itself isn't plus, but you can charge it and make it plus like that. He also has a very good, strong, I think 5H. It hits very far. I forgot to mention that. This is his close H right here. This button actually reaches kind of far. As you can see, it's ridiculous. I don't know why it reaches this far, but the proximity on this normal is absolutely huge. So you can do some really nice things with that to get that to like pop off and stuff. So that's very good because you could do block strings like this in the corner and actually get that. So that actually is a frame trap by itself. So that's also very nice that he has that at his disposal. So he'll be able to do like some really nice, good shimmies and be able to get that close H on there, be able to confirm that into grenade and stuff. So very good confirmability with stuff like that. Just keep in mind. Once again, going back to his special moves. So he does have this. He has this. The other thing, the grenades, everybody love. He has the light version, which is this, the light. This version by itself isn't plus, but you can make it plus at distance. So right here is plus. In their face though, like right here is not plus because it explodes immediately, as you can see. But at this distance, you actually have time to recover. So you can start pressing your advantage a little bit more. So that's nice. The M version is the one everybody loves. It's the one you see on Oki a lot. It hits twice. So you have the one that bounce, and then you have the explosion. So you can sort of run in behind it and start doing additional pressure to basically reset them. Of course, the other one, the one that's very good, is this one. The reason why this one is so good is because it's plus and it's a frame trap. As you can see, it frame trap Gran right there, so he wasn't able to press anything. So you can frame trap with it, and it's plus at the same time. Now it does have a weakness. If you do it in block strings like this, it can be rolled, which could like sort of mess you up a little bit. So keep that in mind. People can try to roll it, or spot dodge and stuff like that. So you do have to keep that type of things in mind. But overall, he does have that at disposal, which is very nice. And this is overall just going to help his zoning game because of the fact you can do this type of stuff. They try to jump, you can do that. You just rotate your charges, put stuff out on the screen. You know, he has a very good 2M that can stop people trying to roll through things. So very good things to keep in mind. He has some really good things at disposal. One other normal I forgot to talk about for some reason was his 2U, which is actually his biggest button. So this button right here actually goes further than his 2H. And he can actually confirm this into an EX like this. His 2-1-4 we're about to talk about. So that's also very good too that you could do that. Or you could do this into shot and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. This is his biggest button when it comes to reachability and stuff like that. Now, talking about this 2-1-4, this is a very good move. This is going to be something that can close the distance. You can also press the guard button to stop it immediately. The light version just goes. The M version has a hit with it. The H version is going to do uppercut. This is basically combo filler. You're not going to do that on block screen. Very unsafe. Same with this. I believe this is also just combo filler. Very unsafe. You can use this to try to go under certain projectiles that are higher. This actually goes underneath it. Granted, isn't a good one, but like I believe ones like Catalina's or Beelzebub, they have very high projectiles, so he can actually slide underneath those and actually, you know, get the hit. So in those matchups, this could be a little bit more usable inside the neutral situations. This button right here, this is very good for catching people, the light version. So if you want to do the light version, you can do that. Also, more about the break. The break can be used to like sort of, you know, mix people up. They think you're going to do one of the other options. You do that and you go for like a grab or something, or, you know, you can bait something by jumping, whatever you want to do, you know. It does have a little bit of recovery, as you can see. I'm holding up immediately, and it does have a little bit of recovery. So just keep that in mind, that if people read that you're going to try to do dash breaks, they can punish you for such. Then there is this follow-up. This follow-up actually has invul. This one does too, by the way. This does have invul. But once again, you're not really going to be doing this in pressure. Very unsafe. So unless you're trying to do like the hardest call out for like little to no reward, I don't expect you to do that. This button is also very good though. This is plus and it's invul, so people try to press something on you for this. It's very hard for them to hit you, as you can see. So I'm mashing 2H with Gran, and he just got completely stuffed. Now, certain things will probably go through it, like probably like a DP or something maybe. But for the most part, people trying to like mash normals on that, pretty hard for them to do that. Also, the other button, like I was showing you, very good for catching people mashing. So this button right here, this acts as a frame trap by itself. So if you catch somebody mashing with this, you can actually combo of this, as you can see. So he actually gets a light starter from that, which is nice. Very good. So keep that in mind, that that is a frame trap, and you can combo off of it if you get the counter hit, get some big damage off that as well. So it does have a, because it's a frame trap, it does have a gap, so people know that they can try to like spot dodge or try to basically DP through that. So you don't want to, you know, rely on it too much if people know the options that you're going to use. But that's why you all got all these other options to mix up. You know, people think you're going to go for that. You do this, you stop right there, and then you go for like a grab. This is unsafe to just stop with this, but because of all the other options you have, you can sort of sometimes get away with doing this into like a tick throw or something like that, because people are looking at all the other options you could do. So just keep that in mind. Now I definitely want to talk about this. So once you have this on them, there's a bunch of things that can happen. Once again, you can go for like a throw. This will explode it. Universal overhead will also explode it, and yes, if they block the universal overhead with that on, it is plus. He can also shoot it, which exploded. His 5 UU will explode it. His 2H will explode it if they're in the air and stuff like that. So those are definitely good things to keep in mind as well. So he has a lot of ways to explode it with. Oh, also this explodes as well. So yeah, the bomb is very, very good to do. When you have that on, you know, you can start doing things to basically pressure them that you wouldn't normally be able to do before, like something like this. Because they're scared of you doing the shot, you could do the shot, you could delay the shot for quite a long time, as you can see. So because they're scared of that, you can sort of get away with like reset pressures with that and stuff. I do that all the time and stuff like that. So just keep in mind that those are some options that you can do as well. The other thing I definitely want to talk about is his ability to confirm. So he has very good confirms. One confirm that I definitely wanted to keep in mind is that his ability to anti-air confirm is very good. The fact that he doesn't need counter hits in order to do some of his confirms, stuff like this. So he has very good anti-air confirms even without counter hit, which is good. Not a lot of characters have stuff like that. That helps his game out a lot. Being able to do stuff like this, and you know, of course, going into supers whenever you need and stuff. Very, very good that he has that at his disposal. So very good, consistent anti-air damage game as well. He can also combo into super very easily. Both his supers have pretty easy points to combo into. So if we do stuff like this, you know, he can go into his SSBA pretty easily. The only distance I see that it has an issue with is like max distance with this when they're crouching, because it like sort of has that angle. So you're not going to be doing like trying to fish for a hit like this. You'll be going into this super instead, which has very, very good range. Like it's amazing how the range for this is. You can do stuff like this because of the range. Like you can actually confirm from shots when you have a grenade on them because of the pop-up. So very, very good. One other thing to keep about the grenades is you can actually explode them and get more damage. So his supers do more damage when you have that on there. So sometimes to keep it on, you actually get more damage. You see, explodes in there. It works for both his supers as well, so he gets more damage with the bombs on there. So that's something to keep in mind when you're trying to do super enders and stuff like that too. Get a little bit extra damage from that as well. So overall, very good when it comes to his bomb usage. Talking more about his confirms, he can also do crouch confirm. So buttons goes into 2M when they're crouching, as you can see like that. So lights can go into 2M when they're crouching, and that will allow you to go into something like that. You can go into, you know, whatever ender you want to when it comes to the slash or whatever. You can do all of them. EX to get the hard knockdown, whatnot, whatever you want to do from there. If you're getting auto combo and they're crouching, you can actually do bomb, and you could combo from bomb from a 2M, or you could do 5L, whichever one you feel is more comfortable. So you could do something like this. Like all of this works. He has very, very fun, unique freestyle combo. Like once you understand his combo theory, you can start to do some very unique things and start to, like, you know, basically get confirms that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. I think it's very cool. You can also do this. If you don't want to spin the other EX, you can just do that instead. That does work. So yeah, overall, he has very good confirm stuff like that. His confirm ability is very good. So the ability to have this like pressure structure and stuff like that, being able to, you know, throw out these bombs to reset pressure. If you got them like blocking and stuff, you can throw out these charge shots. That's plus. This is plus. You know, this is plus. You know, he has a lot of ways to make himself plus. This, a lot of frame traps, with this being a frame trap, and this being a frame trap. A lot of things for the opponent to worry about. Of course, with this being invul as well. He's a very scary character once he gets this thing going, and the fact that he can try to zone you, and he has some of the best zoning in the game because he can out zone characters like Gran and like Catalina because of the laser shots and you know, being able to throw bombs. He can predict the pace of the match whenever he wants. Once again, biggest downside is his ability not to be able to do confirms. Now, last thing to talk about is his knockdown game. I want to talk about that a little bit. So, you know, when he knocks you down, he has the ability to set up bombs and stuff like this. This is where things become fun because at this distance, it automatically gives it to him. You can start doing stuff like that. So if they try to disrespect you, you could do like sweep combos, stuff like that. That also works. You do have to delay it a little bit or it will go off screen. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. So keeping that in mind, yeah, you can do some pretty good unique confirms with it and stuff like that. Off certain certain enders, you do have to backdash a little bit like this to get it. Now, when you do this, you actually can bait a decent amount of DPs. Granted, DP is a little bit harder to bait, but Catalina's DP is pretty easy to bait, and some other ones like Yule's, easy to bait as well because they don't go as far. So you just do the back step to get the distance right, and then you'll be able to throw the bomb. You can also throw the EX bomb, which will give you some more plus frames as well. So you can do that to get a confirm as well. So keep that in mind. That is something you're going to do. This ender, you can do this ender. If you're going for this ender, you can go for lows and stuff like that. So you can go for MG jump lows if you want to go for some shenanigans, whatever, stuff like that. Most of the time, though, you're probably going to go for a DP ender. That's just, it gives a lot of meter. For some reason, this gives a lot of meter to the DP ender. So, you know, if you're trying to get that bar, this is the ender to go. You get a lot of meter for that for some reason. I don't know why I did so much, but you get a decent amount of meter for that. So his knockdown is pretty good. In the mid screen, not spinning, you got to spin EX if you're going for like pressure like this. You have to spin the EX in order to confirm. If you don't want to, then you just have to go for charge shot, but mainly you just want to spin the EX. You can throw bombs at this location. It is very hard to like get something going though, because the bomb isn't detonating right away. So after that, they can like try to jump back. You can try to chase if you want to. So most people just go for like this ender. You can, like, once again, you can throw a bomb, but just run up and probably like do your pressure is probably the best thing to do for the mid screen. In the corner though, that's when you'll be able to do all your bomb shenanigans for the most part. There probably will be some ways to like do the bomb Oki a little bit better in the neutral situation. Also, if you go for this ender, it keeps you a little bit closer. So if you want to go for some of that, like, you know, stuff like that, then that is the ender to go for. If you want to go for like empty jump lows or whatever. Or once again, remember, he has the cross up with the JL. So you can go for cross ups with the JL button. Like stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. That has some options as well to throw your opponent off so they don't always expect what you're doing and stuff like that. Overall, I think he's a pretty good character. I don't know if he's going to be like, I'm not saying he's the best of the best or whatnot, but as far as like meterless DP characters go, I think he is going to be one of the better ones as far as that. I think he has a very nice, solid foundation, and he has some unique starters and consistent damage when it comes to certain situations. He could play at just about any range, and I think that's what's going to make him pretty good. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about Eustace. Have you tried him out? How do you feel about his overall game plan? How strong do you think he is? Let me know down in the comments below. Definitely want to hear what you guys think. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.